When you climb Kilimanjaro, you expose your body to increasing levels of altitude. At the summit, there is about 50% less oxygen than there is at sea level. This low oxygen environment significantly impacts your health and physical performance. I'm Kevin with Ultimate Kilimanjaro, and in this video, I'll discuss what happens to the human body on Mount Kilimanjaro. Let's begin. Number 1. Increased breathing and heart rate. Our bodies are primarily adapted for living at low altitudes. The ideal oxygen level for human life is found at sea level, where the atmosphere contains around 21% oxygen. At this level, the partial pressure of oxygen is sufficient for our lungs to effectively transfer oxygen into the bloodstream. Higher altitudes can challenge the body's ability to function effectively. As oxygen levels in the environment drop, so does the oxygen level in your body. This is known as hypoxia. In order to compensate, the body must work harder to increase oxygen intake and delivery. So your breathing rate increases to pull in more air. At the same time, your heart pumps faster to circulate more blood throughout the body. But even with these adjustments, your muscles and organs still aren't receiving the usual oxygen supply. You can expect to feel shortness of breath, fatigue, and perhaps early exhaustion. Activities that require strength and endurance feel more strenuous. Simple tasks like walking, eating, and even thinking can become difficult. As you spend more time at these elevated heights, your body begins to adjust to the new conditions in a process called acclimatization. Gradually, these symptoms often diminish as your physiological systems adapt to the low oxygen environment. Number 2. Red blood cell production. One of the key adaptations to high altitude involves the production of red blood cells. The kidneys sense the decreased oxygen levels and release a hormone called erythropoietin, or EPO. This hormone stimulates the body to produce more red blood cells. This is a crucial facet of acclimatization. By increasing the number of red blood cells, the body has more capacity to hold and transport oxygen. However, the increase in red blood cells thickens the blood. This means the heart must work harder to pump blood through the circulatory system. Any strenuous activity may leave you feeling unusually winded, and even at rest, your heart may pound harder than normal. But as your body continues to adjust, these sensations often lessen. The heart becomes more efficient at handling the thicker blood, and the enhanced oxygen delivery can lead to improved stamina and endurance. Number 3. Inflammation and swelling. At high altitudes, the way that fluid moves within the body changes. Hypoxia triggers inflammation and disrupts the lining of the blood vessels. These vessels become more permeable, allowing fluid to leak into the surrounding tissues. At the same time, your lymphatic system, which normally helps drain excess fluid from tissues, becomes less efficient. As a result, the body struggles to clear the fluid buildup. You may notice swelling in your hands, face, and feet while climbing Kilimanjaro. Headaches at high altitude are very common and are attributed to swelling in the brain. Some climbers experience changes in vision at high altitudes. Reduced oxygen levels can cause swelling in the cornea, leading to blurred vision or difficulty focusing. The magnitude of the inflammation and swelling in your body typically will decrease as the body adjusts to the lower oxygen levels. Number 4. Sleep difficulty. As you ascend up Mount Kilimanjaro, you may notice that sleeping becomes increasingly difficult. One of the primary reasons for disrupted sleep is a phenomenon known as periodic breathing. At high altitudes, the reduced oxygen triggers the brain to increase breathing rate and depth. During sleep, this can cause a cyclical pattern of rapid breathing followed by brief pauses. These fluctuations disrupt the normal sleep cycle. Instead of progressing through all stages of sleep, you may find yourself shifting between lighter stages of sleep or waking up altogether. This fragmented sleep can leave you feeling unrefreshed and fatigued during the day. Hypoxia also affects the production of neurotransmitters and hormones that regulate sleep, such as melatonin and serotonin. The imbalance of these chemicals can alter your circadian rhythms. These biological factors manifest as difficulty falling asleep, frequent awakenings throughout the night, vivid dreams, and a general sense of restlessness. Fortunately for most people, sleep improves after spending a few nights at higher altitudes. If you do have trouble sleeping in the beginning, know that it will probably get better as days go by. Number 5. Gastrointestinal disturbances. The digestive system doesn't escape the effects of altitude. At high elevations, the body prioritizes the distribution of oxygen to the essential organs like the brain and heart. So blood flow and oxygen delivery to the stomach and intestines are reduced. Digestive processes slow down and food remains in the stomach longer than usual. You might experience bloating, a loss of appetite, or nausea. Moreover, the reduced oxygen levels affect the activity of the GI tract. The contractions that move food along become irregular or weakened. This disruption can lead to constipation or diarrhea. As you can see, altitude has many physiological effects on the body. Altitude affects every climber differently, but everyone feels its effects on Kilimanjaro. Many of the things I mentioned are actually mild symptoms of acute mountain sickness, or AMS. It is very likely that you will experience one or more of these symptoms while climbing Kilimanjaro, typically at elevations above 8,000 feet. These are warning signs that your body is not acclimatized to the current altitude. The symptoms often appear within 6 to 24 hours of reaching a high altitude. With time, many of the adverse symptoms lessen or disappear entirely. However, continuing to ascend while experiencing symptoms of AMS can be deadly. The absolute worst-case scenario involves fluid accumulation in critical organs such as the lungs and the brain, leading to conditions known as high-altitude pulmonary edema and high-altitude cerebral edema. Both of these can be life-threatening. HAPE occurs when the blood vessels in your lungs constrict, a response called pulmonary vasoconstriction. This increases the pressure within the pulmonary arteries. The elevated pressure forces fluid from the capillaries into the air sacs in your lungs, where oxygen exchange occurs. The presence of excess fluid in the lungs hampers breathing, causing shortness of breath, reducing the amount of oxygen that reaches your bloodstream. Similarly, HACE is caused by increased pressure in the capillaries of the brain, leading to fluid leakage within the skull. This fluid buildup causes the brain to swell, increasing intracranial pressure. This swelling can quickly become dangerous, resulting in symptoms such as confusion, loss of coordination, and unconsciousness. Let me be clear, HAPE and HACE are extremely serious and require immediate evacuation. By conducting health checks and through visual observation, our guides are constantly on the lookout for indications that one might be at risk for developing these severe forms of altitude sickness. If our team suspects that you have symptoms that could turn into HAPE or HACE, you will be turned around on the mountain and brought back to town at a minimum or taken to the hospital for treatment. While symptoms like headaches, fatigue, or nausea can feel daunting, they are usually manageable. By taking proactive measures, you can greatly reduce the risks. The best way to prevent altitude sickness is by ascending gradually and allowing your body time to acclimatize. That's why we always recommend longer routes. They're safer, less strenuous, and lead to a more enjoyable experience. Please like and subscribe for more information on climbing Africa's highest peak and join our Facebook group to talk about all things Kilimanjaro. I'll see you on the summit.